all subjects are open.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely, wide open.
All right. Well, let me ask you. Do you feel that John has been able to communicate in any way from the afterlife to you?
I have a great story. Isaac Tigert, Dr. Isaac Tigert, the brilliant designer of House of Blues. We have 13 of them around the country now. It's owned by Live Nation. If you've ever been to a House of Blues, a Foundation Room, Cleveland, we got them in New Orleans. They're beautiful venues, and Isaac Tigert designed them. After John died, he did a meditation with the woman he worked with, Phyllis Crystal, who was an amazing seer and gifted clairvoyant. And they went into a deep trance, and Belushi appeared in the stepping between. He had 1 foot in one side of a windowsill and one of another, and he couldn't move through. He couldn't pick up, and he said, "I need to see my nana. I need to see my nana now." How would Tigert know that that's what Belushi called his grandmother? So he said he had to see his nana. I said that's what he used to call his grandmother. So Isaac said, "Well, can I do an intervention with Phyllis and try to help him cross?" And I said, "Please do," and he did. And there's been nothing from John since. Al Franken went to bungalow number 3 where John died and spent a night there. And he said that John sat on the bed next to him and appeared to him vividly for at least 2 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's riveting.
That was prior to Isaac's enabling the crossover. Shortly, it was a couple of weeks after his death that Franken rented the bungalow.
And I met Isaac. Through
Good.
Michael.
Sure. Yeah, Michael Murphy. Sure. Yeah.
Took me to Isaac's house.
Mm-hmm.
Met Isaac's wife, and
Maureen.
yes.
Maureen Starkey.
Yes, exactly.
Married to Ringo.
Yes.
I know Isaac used to say, "Here's Maureen Starkey. She was married to Ringo. She's my greatest piece of rock and roll memorabilia."
That's Ringo Starr's.
Maureen was awesome. She was, boy, she loved all his friends. She loved us all, even though we were the boys, and distracted from the marriage.
Very gracious.
Wonderful person.
She was just
Wonderful.
being such the hostess
So great.
while we were there. But Isaac is such a spiritual person. Just the zen about him, being in his presence, what he did with the House of Blues, this is something that Michael, I believe he mentioned this to me, and you can confirm it, that there are urns from 4 corners of the earth that were embedded in the walls of the House of Blues.
Maybe, we took dirt from the crossroads, and every House of Blues under the stage has dirt from the Highway 49 and 61 crossroads, which is the region it's supposed to be where Robert Johnson sold his soul to the devil to acquire better vocal and guitar skills and get hit records, and he did. That's the great Crossroads legend. So we do have the dirt there, but he may have, because he would, our wall there had all the religious symbols, to coexist together. Unity and diversity was our motto.
Yep. And hidden rooms, which I didn't know they were there at first in the foundation room, and then they had the wall, which was heavily decorated, and that wall would actually open up, and it'd be yet another small little private room. And so
puja rooms to pray in.
Yeah.
No, I missed the club in LA. It was beautiful.
Me too.
Now there's just an aluminum and glass tower going in there, that's all.
Like everywhere. This is a full-time construction zone, no matter where you live in Los Angeles, it seems.
Traffic here, are you kidding me? Wow. What's going on?
I keep
It takes 20 minutes to go over here now, an hour and 20.
I know, you trying to ask a question, sir?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Shout it out. Here, let me bring the mic over there so everybody can hear it.
I don't know if it's the Q&A portion of the show. Hello, thank you. Just to start, personal thank you, because my wife and I met at the Old House of Blues in West Hollywood. So we miss it. So thanks for everything you did in terms of getting those locations up and running. We've seen some of the footage of international theme park attractions based on Ghostbusters. Just wondering do you know if there's any plans for anything in the US in the future?
There's a company called Void, and they've got a great thing that tours, and it goes out into shopping malls and public event spaces, and Basically, you walk in, they kit you out with pack and thrower and trap, or not the trap, the pack and the thrower, and they put you into an environment, and you use the equipment to neutralize spirits and entities. And at one point, they get you where you're just 35 floors up above Manhattan with no railing there. You're looking down, and they're coming at you out of the sky. It's really a really powerful, exciting. What would you call like a gallery game, and is very impressive, and I think that's kind of stuff you can look for. Also, we've got the Activision video game that we're gonna remaster. We remastered that's coming out, and that was almost like the third movie. They told a great story in there, and I really was pleased with the images in that. If you play that on a big screen in a nice home theater, it's quite impressive. There's a team from Japan that are working on audio-visual kind of a reality VR experience with goggles and a hand for thrower technology. Yeah. So, but as far as a big theme park ride, I don't know. I think the Void thing is the closest to what's going on out there in that world. Yes.
Nothing But Trouble is completely underrated. Can you tell us something about it?
I'm wearing the well. I'm going to tell you right now. You come down there, you pull over for speed, and you come to my court. We're going to have a good party. I'll get the Dutch country Herefords into you. Oh yeah, they're good. A little sharp mustard on there. You can stay all night. I got a bedroom for you. Stay all week if you want. All week, all month. Bring your family. I know you got a good, honest face. You'll be all right. Yeah. Anybody? Yes.
Do all those characters live inside of you all the time?
Some they're asleep, most of them. Thank Christ.
We have a gentleman that traveled a long ways to. I think he wants to ask you a question.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Hello again. I was just wondering, in Ghostbusters, you actually catch ghosts and hold them in a storage facility.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you ever think about what would it take, if it is possible, to destroy a ghost to transform it?
We didn't want to destroy them. We wanted to hold them, and we wanted to eventually figure out technology to send them across back where they belong. But, so many resist going back. They don't want to go back. That's why there are ghosts. They just don't want to go back. Loop ghosts, loop hauntings, they just want to stay there. So our idea was, okay, we can contain them and at some point get to the point, in the science where we could send them back across. You got a question?
After the incident in '80, have you made good with the Chicago Police Department?
Which one was that?
Did y'all hear his question?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Which incident was that?
The car downtown City Hall.
You mean? Oh, yes. You mean? Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. No. They like me there. I think so.
Here you go.
Hello. You wrote a screenplay for Ghostbusters Hellbent. And I would like to ask you, is there any possibility that it will be transcend into a book or a comic book, the Ghostbusters Hellbent? Because I've heard it's a wonderful script.
Yeah, it's a good script. I think we're going to get Jason's movie made. We have an animated idea we want to do. And then the prequel idea for, and another animated show, prequel idea, I have Ghostbusters High, where they all meet, the three of them meet, Venkman and Stantz and Spengler. And then, Hellbent, I could see once all those get made, I could see it being a film. Because it introduces a whole new kind of concept in the story, and it would tie into to the past without depending too much on it. Yeah, but it would make a good comic book, sure. Yeah, or great video game. There's some really neat equipment in that story. Really neat.
Like what? Now you got me curious. What's like?
Oh, like interplanar interceptor. You just get in it, and you go from Manhattan. You flick a switch and you're in Manhattan.
Okay, like an alternate universe?
Manhattan, yeah.
Okay, got it. All right,
Yeah.
Here's another question.
Alec Baldwin as the devil.
I can believe that.
Hi, Dan.
Yeah.
Paranormal question for you. So we believe in extraterrestrials. We believe in spirits, right?
I do.
No, I do too.
Okay,
That's,
good.
I said
We do.
We're
Okay,
sticking with
good.
an exclusive club here.
Good enough.
Okay, so what's your thoughts on cryptids? Things like Mothman, Bigfoot, Poplik Monster.
Well, Doug Meldrum at the University of South Dakota, he's a paleontologist. He has pretty compelling evidence that Bigfoot, Sasquatch is a real thing. He's got footprints, he's got spoor. He's a doctor in paleontology, so I've seen some convincing evidence there. There was an Olympian, her name was Gabrielle Reese, and she was on a camping trip up north in Winnebago, up in Washington State, I think it was. And a Sasquatch attacked their camper, and she has footage of it, and she's told me that story a couple of times. I always ask her about it, and she still gets a chill when she thinks about it. Mothman, pretty neat story there. They made a movie with Richard Gere about it, yeah. And let's see, well, there's, then Yeti, still stories about Yeti, the Jersey Devil, Chupacabra. There's a reason they're out there. At the very least, it's entertaining. Yes, sir.
I was wondering, will we ever get to see any of the footage of the version of Ghostbusters 2 that features you as the Evil Ray?
No.
The Evil Ray is in Ghostbusters 2. The Evil Ray is there. I don't know if there's any more of the Evil Ray, but it's in there.
In the comic book, it has a lot more where you're driving the car crazy.
Okay. Well, in the movie, they cut it down to the right. They edited it properly. That movie moves along really well. I was evil there.
Evil-ish.
Yes.
Evil-ish.
Gilda Radner, do you think she would have been a good Ghostbuster?
Oh, she could have done anything. Absolutely. She would have been wonderful. She could have been great as Janine, the secretary, right? But we had Annie Potts. Come on, you can't complain. Yes, lady. Ghostbuster.
You're fantastic. Thank you so much. There are so many amazing one-liners that are just part of, at least in our house, the everyday vernacular. Just curious if you have a favorite line from one or two. Two might be my favorite, just saying.
I think all of Murray's dialogue, just his, the speech about the cats and dogs and, rain, the speech in City Hall, just the passion there was fantastic. He was great. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, sir, go ahead, yeah.
It's, as I've heard, when you wrote the original script for the sequel, you wanted Dana to get kidnapped to Scotland. Why is that?
Well, I wanted to get out of New York City, and also, there are other countries where there are ghosts, and lots of them there.
And did you feel like Scotland?
I felt like that we could do a beautiful location there, and meet a kind of a banshee-like entity that comes from legend that would be quite frightening.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Yes, sir.
Back to the metaphysical. Earlier was mentioned thought forms, and I was wondering what your take on, because my wife and I have a theory on this, what something in pop culture like the Slender Man or the Rake that's being popularized now could do or manifest in terms of like the Man of the Fedora, the sort of reoccurring physical theme being brought about by sort of a cultural mind form.
Well, Slender Man certainly came to life in the attack that those two girls perpetrated on their friend. Now, Slender Man seems to me be just a digital phenomenon. The Fedora guy is like, he's not from the internet.
Right.
So we hope that Slender Man remains in the domain of the digital. But you never know. Look at Annabelle.
What Slender Man does.
Use the meat tenderizer on her.
Yeah, I know. I was ready to swing that thing. But what Slender Man shows that a thought can cross over into the physical realm through other people's actions.
Yeah, into the perfidious behavior of humankind, which is what happened there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's infectious.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters 2016 used the idea of ley lines, and I know that Lilydale exists on ley lines.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the idea that that is a path?
Oh, it's neat to look at those old maps in Europe and see where they pass through, and then you look and you see this X, and there's a tower or a castle or something, a henge or something that's been built there. And why that structure there? Well, because it's the cross of a ley line. Yeah, no, I think the whole planet has that kind of energy running through it.
Dan, quick question, because we have just over 4 minutes left. Do you have something else on your schedule? I've been notified.
Oh, well, we've got to sign running shoes, we've got to sign photos, we got lots of stuff here this afternoon.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But you identify yourself as a ufologist.
No, I don't say that.
You don't?
I don't. I have an interest in it. I think a ufologist really is someone who, like Stanton Friedman, who we just lost. He was a wonderful guy. He was the expert on Roswell. Someone who makes their life that, who takes it on as a real profession. MUFON has these STAR Team programs, STAR Team Investigator programs. So you have to go through, take an exam, and learn how to question people. And treat abductees sensitively. And so there's a course you have to take. So until I qualify, I'm not going to call myself a ufologist, but I certainly have an interest in it, and I believe I've seen 4 of them. Yes?
Oh, cool.
In a real-life situation, if you had to pick a form of dozer, what would it be?
What's that, in what?
In a real-life situation, if you had to pick a form of dozer, what would it be?
I would pick the Dominion Spark Plug Kitty. Kind of like Mr. Stay Puft, but a kitty with sparks and fishnet stockings. It was actually a brand symbol. And she could do a lot of harm because she's electric. Over in the corner there. Yes, sir. Hi. Yeah.
I was curious, a story I heard from you and others about the show you were producing for Sci-Fi and the Men in Black showing up and all of a sudden the show being canceled. To hear kind of your thoughts.
Very interesting afternoon. Yes, yes. We were about to interview Stephen Greer. We'd interviewed Stephen Greer in the morning. We were about to interview Stephen Bassett, the disclosure guy, and they called from Sci-Fi Network and said the show's canceled the day of that UFO stuff. And then the disappearing black Ford. 1 minute it was there, and then the next, 1 second was there, and then 1 second it was gone. So there was something happening that day. I don't know. But we can't be silenced, And now look what's going on with the Navy and these F-18 footages. Come on, yeah. Yes, I have a young man who wants to ask something.
I brought something from Canada, and it's something new that you have not ever tried before.
Well, I don't know. You're from Vancouver. That's a different part of Canada. And Ottawa. Oh, well, that makes me feel at home, Smarties. That's like the Canadian M&M, but with better chocolate.
I think he's making his way to you.
Sure.
And after that, we've got just
Hi, what's your name?
one more question.
Hi, come on, here. Let's take a picture. Canada! We don't have enough Americans up there. Come and visit us, please. Please, come and see.
Okay. And we have a question right here. What's the question?
Hey Dan, I think in the comics I've seen a crossover, like the Ninja Turtles wearing the packs, and me and my buddy were talking about maybe a Back to the Future. It's wishful thinking that you're working on anything, but what would be like a cool crossover that you can think of with the Ghostbusters? Another universe, another,
Men in Black.
That's the one, straight to that?
Yeah, it's like, we have a lot of equipment, but now we've got this ghost, and we don't have anything so they license maybe Men in Black and so Ghostbusters get together. Hey, that's Sony, that's a Sony, wow. Why don't you write it?
It's called The Spirits Within.
Okay, we have one last question. So let me just run over here real quick. Excuse me?
Out of all of the tech in Ghostbusters, I've looked into it. I couldn't find a definitive answer. What's the belt gizmo for?
What, the resistor, your resistor on the side there? Yeah, that's just to absorb extra, that's a resistor, as you would find in a car to kind of compensate for over voltage. So it kind of protects you from little shocks and stuff. Yeah, and you know what the tube's for.
All right, and here's the bonus question.
Hey Dan, great fan.
Thank you, sir.
What are your thoughts on the Mandela effect, and has it affected you personally?
The which now?
The Mandela effect, about how we're not in the right universe.
Hey, you know, with the way the world is today, I don't know that any of us is in the right universe. But as you know, there are millions of universes, parallel universes, and we're just lucky, I think, to live in one where we get to inhabit the planet Earth, the most beautiful blue sphere in the multiverse. You know, sometimes we're in the right place, sometimes we're in the wrong place, but there's nothing we can do about it except meditate, be mindful, and make this universe that we're stuck in a better one.
Amen to that. Dan, thank you so much. Big hand, y'all.